What's going on, guys? So today I want to talk about this Kershaw Thistle. Pretty interesting knife. Got this from my friend Corey. I want to do kind of like a first impressions. I haven't used this knife too much, but I did want to talk about it a little bit. All right, this has a very interesting, I want to say, I guess technically it's still a button lock. All right, so this is our locking mechanism. You couldn't miss it. It's a giant button in the middle of the frame. All right, and how this works is it's a separate bar. Okay, let me zoom in here to show you this. So we have basically an inside liner lock. Okay, so you see, let me actually close this. So when we open this, you can see we have the liner lock that pops over and locks the blade, right? But you don't have access to it. You can't hit it from the normal spot on the outside. It's actually in the middle of the knife. What this does is this is on a separate metal plate, okay, probably spring steel, so that when you depress it, see, let's bring another piece of metal down, and that is what's actually pushing the lock out of the way. All right, so I guess technically it's considered a button lock. Now, the reason I thought this was cool is because it's a little bit more similar to a ball lock. All right, so this is an Ulmar knife. Let me zoom in for you here. This is a smaller guy. And this quite literally has a ball. All right, now this one kind of freely floats around. It's almost like a little ball bearing in there. So it kind of feels like, I don't know if you remember they probably still make them, but the mouse pads with the scrolling ball, that's what it feels like. It just rotates inside the frame here. All right, when this one opens up, zoom in a little more for you. Same thing, you have an inside liner lock that is depressed with the ball. So the ball pushes down and releases that lock. The blade opens, it pops up. All right, so you can see how that's pushed in the frame. When it opens up, it just pushes to the top. So pretty interesting design. I love the ball lock. I think it's really, really cool. This is one of those knives that are in my interesting, knife collection just because it's interesting. It's a, it's a knife lock system that's just not, used all the time. So anyway, getting back to this one, it is a little bit different, obviously, in its style. It's more of a very large, flat button shape as opposed to a ball. It's very easy to get to. The only thing with this is it's a little bit tricky. All right, let me zoom back in for you, show you this. So once you depress this, okay, the lock is out of the way, so you have to close the blade. But as you're closing the blade, it actually hits the lock at this point. So what you have to do is you depress the lock to unlock the blade, but once the blade is, off center, it's no longer locked. You just want to let go of that so it does not hinder the blade from shutting. Because again, if you were to use, let's say, two hands here, zoom back out. Sorry for getting vertigo here. But yeah, if you were to depress this and use two hands, you can't close it all the way. You have to let go of the lock for it to move out of the way. All right, so most people are using two hands anyway, but if you are, depress it. Once it's unlocked, let go of it so you can actually close it. But most people are, just dual thumb studs on here. So once you open the knife, you use the knife, just depress it with your thumb, move it a little bit, and then, obviously lift up and close. All right, you can flick this open if you want. You can kind of quickly open and close this. It's not like it's impossible at all. But I know some people out there might hold this down too long and they go to close it and like, why is that stopping? Well, that's why. It's just in the way. Anyway, I thought this is a pretty cool knife. These thistles sell for, get ready for it, 14 bucks. All right. Now, of course, it has an 8CR13 MOV blade, which is totally fine as long as you can sharpen your knives and maintain them. They can be very happy with it. It's actually a very, very sturdy knife. There's no blade play whatsoever. It is quite comfortable in design, very simple design, kind of a broad blade, not too much tip on it. But for $14, this is a really cool option. If you're rocking an Ozark Trail as your beater knife or something, and you want to kind of upgrade, but you don't want to spend that much money, I would really recommend this. I mean, I've only used this for maybe 2 or 3 days now, just kind of playing around with it. But specifically me, I'm very interested in strange or unique locking mechanisms. So having this kind of, modified button lock, you might say, or modified ball lock, I just think it's really cool. It's definitely different. What's interesting too is I handed this to a couple different people, and it's very intuitive to use this as a lock. All right, so like when you hand a non-knife person a knife and it's a liner lock or a frame lock or an axis lock or something, usually, anyone can open a knife, right? They go, okay, yeah, and they grab it by the blade, or they see the thumb stud and they open it and they use it, and then you see this. You go, And they're kind of poking and fiddling. I mean, everyone has experienced this. If you're into knives, you've probably shown someone because you want to show off the stuff that you have, or you lent a buddy or a family member, who knows, maybe your grandmother, a knife, and half the time they do. They don't know how to close it, how to unlock it. What's going on? This could not scream more that that's a lock. You know what I'm saying? So every person I've handed to so far, there's a few people, I didn't say anything at all, like I handed to my wife, you know, and she just went, okay, and pushed this and then closed it, you know. It's very intuitive. It's natural to go, because obviously we have a black handle here, all right, which, by the way, if I zoom in, you can see all the Ks for Kershaw. That's the texturing, which is kind of cool, pretty smart. But yeah, I mean, there's this massive thing here that looks like a button, so you want to push it, you know. It's like if you have the red button that says don't push, what do people do? They push it because they want to push it. So anyway, it's just easy to use, kind of cool. Did not carry yet, not exactly sure how the pocket clip's working, but I mean, it looks fine. It's kind of a deeper conceal, so they have a teeny bit poking up there, plenty of you know, spring tension on it there. Just cool. I mean, for 14 bucks, it's a pretty cool knife. So I want to make a quick video on it. But anyway, that's it for now. Just thought that was very interesting. I wanted to share with you guys. Hope you have a wonderful day. Let me know out there if you have a knife with a ball lock, which, by the way, it's not just these two knives. There's plenty of other knife designs out there that incorporate a very similar idea for the locking mechanism, where you have an inner liner lock of sorts and then some type of button switch, whatever, you know, that's going to manipulate that and push it out of the way to unlock that blade. All right, so, I mean, in the knife world, there's just a lot of repetition, there's a lot of copying, but in a good way. Someone has a good idea, someone else wants to use it, but they have to tweak it a little bit because they don't want to be accused of being a thief, you know, or a copycat. But anyway, that's it for now. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you tomorrow with a brand new video. Take care.